North Korea doesn't call it a prison. They call it a re-education zone, a place where men enter with names and leave as numbers. For 14 years, one prisoner endured that zone, a place built to erase identity, hope, and thought itself. He watched hundreds vanish into pits, thousands disappear into smoke, and somehow, he lived. Stay with me, because this is the story of why one North Korean prisoner survived the camp no one escapes, and what it cost him to stay human. The camp had no name, only a number. Camp 14, hidden in the mountains of Kichon, walled by barbed wire, patrolled by silence. Inside, time did not pass. It repeated. Every day began with the same sound, the clank of the loudspeaker, the order to stand, and the smell of burning waste drifting from the factory pit. Prisoners were not men. They were assets. Every movement measured, every glance recorded. And among them was a young inmate named Shin, born inside the fences, knowing no world beyond them. He was told, "You were born guilty. Your father sinned. Your mother sinned. You live to erase it." That was North Korea's logic. And logic, in the camp, was the cruelest weapon of all. Shin learned 3 lessons before he was 10. First, hunger is stronger than friendship. Second, trust kills. Third, hope is a rumor. Food was currency. Silence was armor. Betrayal was oxygen, the only way to breathe long enough to see another sunrise. The guards didn't need to break prisoners. They made the prisoners break each other. Whisperers disappeared. Helpers vanished. Even family was a trap. When Shin's mother tried to share extra corn with another inmate, he reported her. He thought it would earn him food. It earned him a seat in front of her execution. That was the first time he cried. Not for his mother, but for the hunger that made him kill her. And still, he lived. Every camp functioned like a clockwork of cruelty. The guards didn't beat out of anger, they beat out of rhythm. Work, whistle, strike, work. Morning, count, confession, night. Confession was mandatory, not for guilt, but for control. Each night, prisoners knelt and recited lies about sabotage, laziness, impure thought. It wasn't punishment. It was programming. Shin noticed something. No one remembered their own thoughts anymore. The camp wasn't about pain. It was about removing imagination. And that realization, that the camp was designed not to kill his body, but to erase his mind, is what kept him alive. He decided, if they can erase memory, I'll weaponize it. He learned to act broken, to make them believe he was empty. He wasn't. He was memorizing everything, every shift, every guard rotation, every rule that might one day break. If you're still here, thank you. Stories like this aren't easy to hear, but they matter, because they show what it takes for a human being to stay human. Subscribe to keep these stories from disappearing. By 1999, Shin was 20, thin, scarred, silent. Half his back was a map of lashes. He no longer dreamed of food. He dreamed of forgetting hunger. Then came the new prisoner, an older man named Park. Unlike anyone Shin had seen, Park talked about a world outside the fence. Cities, lights, roasted meat, music, freedom. Words Shin didn't understand. At first, Shin thought it was another trap. Everyone who spoke of outside disappeared. But Park was careful. He didn't preach escape. He asked questions. What if the fence isn't electrified all the time? What if the guards are fewer at night? The questions turned into obsession. For the first time, Shin wanted something other than survival. He wanted elsewhere. Park whispered, "Freedom isn't a reward. It's a direction." That sentence rewired Shin's mind. He stopped kneeling as low. He stopped flinching at commands. He began watching the guards the same way they watched him. And then came the night when everything he memorized would matter. January 2005. Snow covered the camp like ash. Visibility, 20 meters. Electric fence, unknown. Shin and Park crouched near the edge of the work zone. The tower lights flickered. It was the moment they'd been waiting for. Park went first. He climbed, hooked his hands on the wire. The crack came instantly. A burst of light, a scream, and the smell of burning flesh. The fence was electrified. Park's body hung there, jerking, smoking. The guards didn't react. They thought the noise was a transformer surge. Shin didn't run. He didn't mourn. He crawled under Park's body, using it to ground the current, and rolled through. His back tore open on the wire. He didn't feel it. He was already running. Snow swallowed his footprints. The mountains opened like a wound. And for the first time in his life, he realized silence could mean freedom. It took weeks to find people who didn't wear uniforms. He begged for food, stole when he had to. His body healed. His mind didn't. South Korea called him a miracle. The US called him an escapee. He called himself a mistake that survived. Because outside, he discovered another kind of prison. Memory. The camp never left. Every sound, every smell dragged him back. He told interviewers, "Freedom isn't what you gain. It's what you fight not to lose again." They called him paranoid. He called it remembering. Most who escaped North Korea broke for the border. Few came from the camps. Almost none from Camp 14. So how did Shin survive? Not by faith, not by hope, but by adapting to a truth most people never face. To endure hell, you have to understand it. He didn't dream of rescue. He didn't plan revenge. He studied the system like an organism. Its pulse, its reflex, its pattern. And when the pattern blinked, he moved. That's not heroism. That's intelligence sharpened by pain. It's how a mind survives what a body shouldn't. Today, the camp still exists. Different number, same fences, same silence. Shin doesn't know if he escaped or if part of him is still there. He once said, "I live free, but I sleep inside the wire." What North Korea built to erase humanity ended up proving it, because even in a place where compassion is punished and truth is a crime, one man's refusal to vanish became a rebellion stronger than any weapon. If this story reached you, let it stay. Like, subscribe, or comment so these stories of survival, not just of war, but of the human mind, are never forgotten. And join me in the next story, where survival isn't just about escaping death, but escaping what death leaves behind.